Of chronic joint pain. Don't want surgery. Wanted stem cell treatment, but it's too expensive. Dr. Green has a treatment similar to stem cell treatment that's covered by your insurance. Set up a consultation with Dr. Green, either online or in person, to discuss the treatment and how the insurance covers it. Call 559-234-3070 or online at greensmc.com. Finally, get the pain relief you deserve today.
It's not just one company I represent. We're representing many.
Big names: Mercury, Travelers, Progressive, and that's just to mention a few. We have nearly 40 carriers that we can put you with.
And they're all offering a unique discount plan.
No one wants to overpay for anything, especially insurance. We know that.
Right down to the bundle, that's where the low price is. We take the carrier that's great with auto, put them with the carrier that's great with home, and we then apply the discount, which not everyone can do.
New Horizon Insurance. Low-cost leaders statewide.
Let the equity in your home open new doors with a home equity line of credit from EECU. Remodel your kitchen, turn your backyard into your own private escape, or pay down debt. And now through October 31st, 2021, pay no application fee or closing cost. Let EECU help you finance all the things that bring joy to your life. EECU, smarter banking since 1934. EECU is an equal housing lender.
The sun has always powered life. And now it powers our latest innovation to heat and cool your home more efficiently. Introducing the world's only solar-powered home energy system, which saves you up to half off your heating and cooling bill.
The future of home comfort is here now at Donald P. Dick Air Conditioning. Get the latest in home comfort and energy savings with Mr. Cool. Get up to $13.75 in rebates or special financing.
Now YourCentralValley.com, pros who know.
Don't be fooled by imitation stem cell treatments. For real regeneration, we use your own body's stem cells to turn damaged tissue into healthier ones. Call us today for an appointment.
For more expert advice, go to YourCentralValley.com/pros who know.
Local news that matters. This is KC24 News Midday.
Welcome back. I'm Ruben Contreras with your midday forecast. It's hot outside. We're in the 90s across the Central Valley, and we have one more round of extreme heat this afternoon. Current conditions show Fresno at 93 degrees this midday, 93 in Visalia, and 91 for Madero. And of course, it is warmer out there compared to this time yesterday, and we're adding to the warmth that we picked up yesterday with the extreme heat. And there's a little bit of cloud cover out there, and that's been the case for parts of the valley in the overnight hours. So it actually keeps us a little bit more mild, but it'll be as hot or just as hot as yesterday. Still got that heat advisory in effect for the valley, and parts of the backside of this year actually under excessive heat warning until later on for tonight. We're going to be right around 105 degrees for most of the valley, and you'll notice the cloud cover throughout the day. Might feel a little humid. A thunderstorm or two possible in the Sierra. Dry lightning is a concern for the valley. Don't be surprised if you feel a sprinkle or two tonight. Skies clear tomorrow into the weekend, and temperatures cool off to the mid and upper 90s. Still warm, but better than the triple-digit heat we've had for quite some time. We'll take a closer look at the extended forecast in a few minutes. For now, we'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Ruben. President Biden will today lay out a six-pronged strategy to combat emerging COVID variants and increase vaccinations to stop the spread of the virus. His plan will include a vaccine mandate for federal workers with no option to pass COVID tests in place of the vaccine.
At the same time, pressure is building to offer further guidance for schools, with children now representing a quarter of all new U.S. COVID cases. Alice Barr has the latest.
The Biden White House today launching a new battle plan to combat the evolving threat from COVID-19.
We have more work to do, and we are still at war with the virus and with the Delta variants.
President Biden set to lay out 6 steps to stop the spread, including increasing vaccinations, better protecting those who are vaccinated, keeping schools safely open, increasing testing and requiring masks, protecting the economic recovery, and improving care for those with COVID. With largely unvaccinated students now back in the classroom all over the country, last week a quarter of all new COVID cases were among children. A judge ruling Florida must stop enforcing Governor Ron DeSantis' controversial school mask ban after 3 Miami teachers and 10 other employees died from COVID since school began, all of them unvaccinated. The district superintendent slamming what he called the political nature of mask policies.
As an educator, as a father, It bothers me because children should not be political pawns in this political chess game.
Serious illness and death are rare among children, but more are winding up in the hospital, like 11-year-old Levi Cartucci.
It's past time for people to take the virus seriously. Like, it's affecting our kids now.
A parent's plea as the president pushes a new strategy in the war on COVID. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Well, once again, President Joe Biden will announce this afternoon his plan to tackle the spread of COVID-19 and boost vaccinations in the country. The White House says that the president will focus on the following 6 areas: vaccinating the unvaccinated, further protection for the vaccinated, keeping schools safely open, increasing testing and requiring masking, protecting economic recovery, care for those with COVID-19. An administration official confirmed to NBC News that the president will call on all schools to set up regular testing. President Biden is expected to speak around 2 o'clock.
Community Regional Medical Centers is getting some extra help to tackle local rising COVID cases. More than 100 traveling nurses are coming into the area from New York, Florida, Iowa, and other states to boost the medical staff at local hospitals.
It's essential we have enough staff, especially being a trauma 1 or level 1 trauma center, because we need to be available to take patients from all over the valleys.
For me, I love caring about people, within the hospital walls, outside the hospital walls.
Hospital officials say it is crucial that they have the appropriate amount of staff to keep the system going.
After Hurricane Ida, the cleanup continues across a vast swath of the country. 11 new deaths are being reported in Louisiana, bringing the state's total to 26. Officials say many of those newly reported deaths are due to excessive heat during an extended power outage. Across Louisiana, power crews are working around the clock, but many are still waiting for electricity, especially in parishes west of New Orleans.
We do not have electricity. We're in week 2. 95% of our community is without electricity.
It was like a war zone, and I was like, I just can't believe this is my town.
In Louisiana, the utility company Entergy says it has restored everyone's lights back on. Could take until the end of the month.
Tropical storm Mindy losing strength after making landfall in Florida last night. Yes, another tropical storm. The storm touched down near St. Vincent Island with 45-mile-per-hour winds. Tropical storm warnings are in place for a stretch of the Florida coast. Mindy is now the 13th named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season. It's expected to bring 2 to 4 inches of rain to the area. Plans are also underway in Clovis to mark the anniversary of 9/11. Over the past 2 decades, an annual memorial has been held in Clovis. This year, organizers say the ceremony will continue as an in-person event, but it will also be live streamed on Facebook. The 20th anniversary includes an expansion of the local memorial.
To expansion, we were able to include 3 new bronze statues, one for a wounded warrior, another representing the military, and then another representing the police officers, specifically Officer Moira Smith. She was the first to call in the attacks to police headquarters on September 11th.
The expansion also includes a monument to Flight 93, which crashed in Pennsylvania. Todd Beamer, who attended Fresno State, was on that flight. Organizers are expecting a large crowd on Saturday. So if you're planning to attend the ceremony in Clovis, they recommend getting there at 8:30 in the morning, and it begins at 10. It's at 3485 Never Forget Lane in Clovis. Shortly after the September 11th attacks, David McDonald of Pelco flew 1,100 New York police and firefighters and their families to Clovis for a memorial and a coast-to-coast show of appreciation.
The other companies now call the Clovis Office Park home. Justin Sasher reports the California 9/11 Memorial remains and continues to grow.
The California 9/11 Memorial is the biggest memorial outside of New York City, and the good news for the Central Valley or California residents in general is we're not done yet. To this year, we're actually added 3 more statues.
California 9/11 Memorial Founding Board member Jim Stemler.
There are many tributes to the firefighters, to the military personnel, to the citizens, to police officers, EMS workers, everybody that lost their lives. There's some representation out here at the memorial. The one I'm standing next to is 2 firefighters that are actually running towards the Twin Towers, which is a mock-up off camera here. And it symbolizes them running into a building when everybody else was fleeing the building. And that was the one comment that a lot of survivors had from the towers, was as they're running for their lives down these stairs, these firefighters, dressed in all their gear, carrying all this equipment, were running up the stairs. They're running into danger to help save people.
The memorial was started by David McDonald of Pelco.
Pelco and Schneider, who Pelco was sold to, had started selling off the campus. The Cook family and Cook Land Company purchased the substantial assets of the campus and started to redevelop it. And with that came the privilege and the honor of the California 9/11 Memorial. We formed a full nonprofit organization called the California Memorial with an independent board of directors, and really turned this into a true gym and community asset.
Founding member Todd Cook.
Behind me is the 1/100th scale replicas of the World Trade Center towers. Inscribed on them are the names of all the first responders who perished in the towers: police, firefighters, Port Authority, paramedics, any first responder, including the canines who perished in those attacks, are listed on here, and it's really here to honor the first responders that perished.
So the memorial is steeped in tradition and symbolic performances. We have the traditional, the bagpipers playing Amazing Grace. We have wreaths being laid. We have the tapping of the bell 3 times, 3 taps, 3 times for a total of 9 bell rings, which is symbolic in the fire service of the end of watch.
The students that are there today weren't born during September 11th of 2001.
Retired Deputy Superintendent and founding board member Dr. Catherine Catania.
As Americans, no matter your ethnicity, no matter your race, everybody came together in the spirit of helping. And in times of crisis, that's what we do as Americans. We come together to help each other. We can come together, so you carry that feeling with you for a long time.
It's open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. We encourage people. It is set up for people to come out and just sit and reflect. And because I think that is a draw to people to return, because it provides an opportunity, an environment for them to reflect on their own losses and their own memories of 9/11.
Justin Sasher, KC24, local news that matters.
That's such an incredible part of the community.
And a part that maybe some people don't know about,
Right.
that so much is done here in this area to pay tribute to that day and everyone that lost their lives in that day. And great job by Justin putting that all together.
I think a lot of people will be visiting that memorial in the coming days. Coming up on KC24 Midday.
AMC is taking a huge move to get people to go back to the theater after being devastated by the pandemic.
Plus, some celebrities are doing whatever they can to address food insecurity for Hunger Action Month this September.
Real-time views where you live. The Valley Cam Network gives you the latest conditions live. See them on KC24 News or online at yourcentralvalley.com.
You remind me of the guy in high school who took my girlfriend, then went on to the next girl. You still think you're better than everyone else. You shut down public schools while your kids went to private school. Even now you live by different rules. You closed tiny coffee shops while you ate dinner at the fanciest restaurant. $12,000 for wine. You've lost touch with reality. This is not about political parties. It is about you, Gavin Newsom.
Recall Newsom. Bring us together.
Family fitter, bath fitter. Schedule fitter, bath fitter. Style fitter, bath fitter. You fitter, bath fitter. We install beautiful tubs that fit perfectly over your old one with no mess or demo. Get the bath you want in a day with quality that lasts a lifetime. It just fits. Bath Fitter. Call now or visit bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
We are the colleges of State Center Community College District. Register now. We'll find the funds.
I'm very thankful for financial aid because it helped me stay in school and focus on my studies.
Register with State Center. We have the tools.
All of you guys register and you could get all the technology that you need.
Get the technology you need.
And we have food pantry support.
I can always rely on the Reedley Food Pantry to provide the items I need to succeed.
State Center, building bright new pathways to your future. Go online to research and register with our colleges now.
And considering that slight downward trend, we may be... oh boy. We might be smart to actually consider a slight pivot. Any questions? Oh.
A home office chair is like roadside assistance. Quality matters. So join AAA, America's most recommended roadside service, from $5 a month.
Jackson Jewelry, and we wanted you like family for years, and we want you to know we're here for you now. We're open Tuesday through Saturday to give you cash for gold. Prices are near record highs, and we'll get you money today to help you through these tough times. Jackson Jewelers, we treat you like family.
Lisa! To our favorite moments from season 1.
Plus, Monday, the stars come out for our 2-week premiere event.
From Hollywood.
The Drew Barrymore Show, today at 2 on KC24. KC24 News is brought to you in part by Barbecue Bob. Now, forecaster Ruben Contreras with your local weather authority forecast.
Welcome back this midday. It's hot outside and it's going to feel a little humid today. You probably noticed some clouds starting to move in. Plus, we still got areas of haze and smoke out there. And of course, that's just going to be an issue as long as these fires continue to burn. But there's signs that things will start to clear up and temperatures will start to cool off. But we still have one day of extreme heat to get through here in Central California. 93 degrees right now in Fresno, 97 for Bakersfield, 84 in Sacramento, and 60s and 70s along the coast. Most of the Central Valley in the 90s already. 96 in Porterville, 91 in Madera, and 94 in Merced. We're holding on to that warmth from yesterday. We had extreme heat, and the clouds here and there overnight kind of kept temperatures a little bit more mild. That usually happens late at night, early in the morning. So it was a very warm start to the day, and that's what we're building on this morning. So it's about 3 to 5 degrees warmer compared to this time yesterday. Visibility is still not the best in some valley spots, down to 8 miles in Visalia, 10 miles for the rest of the valley. Again, these are airport observations. Points in between, it probably is a little bit lower than that, and it probably is better in other areas. But you kind of see some of the haze from our valley cam. This is a live picture from our studios in East Central Fresno, looking at downtown Fresno. And you do see the downtown Fresno off in the distance, the federal courthouse, the county courthouse, and the old Security Bank building in the center of the screen. Up in the Sierra, though, you go above that inversion layer, you have blue skies, but notice the cloud cover starting to move in. Some of that monsoon moisture coming in from the south. And this is Huntington Lake, a live picture from PG&E's webcam. This is one of the areas I could see a few isolated showers and thunderstorms later on this afternoon and this evening. Same deal for Yosemite Conservancy's webcam at Ahwahnee Meadow. Live picture this midday. Certainly nice to see some blue skies, but the thunderstorms are concerned. Some of them might produce dry lightning. It's still very warm out there, so it might dry out the storms. And obviously, lightning could start to do a wildfire, and we really don't want that right now because Futurecast smoke model suggests skies will start to clear tomorrow into the weekend. Still going to see that shade of dark blue today into tomorrow, at least for the first half of the day. That's the dense smoke. Then we actually see some decent clearing into the weekend, and that's when a trough digs into California, cooling us off a little bit. We're still talking about temperatures in the 90s, staying above average for this time of year, but anything's better than the extreme heat we've had going for the past few days. There's the ridge of high pressure that's keeping us hot. There's the direction of the monsoon moving up into southern and central California, sending in some cloud cover our way, and there's enough moisture in those systems to produce those showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, and Futurecast does show that, especially at 4 o'clock or so. The highest elevations had the best chance, but notice the cloud cover increasing throughout the valley throughout the day, and even some green dots popping up on our map in the evening hours. So there could be a few sprinkles in the valley for tonight into early tomorrow morning. Now, we're not talking about a huge rainmaker for the valley, but a few raindrops, certainly a nice change after dealing with all this haze and smoke for the past several weeks. We're still under a heat advisory until 8 o'clock this evening, and our temperatures today will be hot. Today will be day 67 of triple-digit heat in Fresno. That continues to reset the new record. Of course, we tied the old one of 63 back at 84 over the weekend. Temperatures right around 105 degrees for most of the valley, and 7-day forecast shows temperatures start to cool off tomorrow. Mid to upper 90s, still warm for this time of year. Average is 93, and it may not feel like it in the afternoon through the weekend and next week, but our overnight temperatures by Monday into Tuesday, low to mid 60s, so it'll be a little cool in the morning, kind of feeling like fall by then. YourCentralValley.com has all the latest weather information you need to know. Check it out whenever you want. For now, we'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Ruben. Well, movie giant is taking a bold move in an effort to get people to come back to the movie theater experience.
AMC Theaters cast Nicole Kidman to be a face of a massive ad campaign to bring people back to the movies after the pandemic devastated theaters nationwide. The movie giant is investing nearly $25 million in an effort to get people back into theaters. The pandemic set the stage for streaming platforms to become a staple in every movie watcher's life.
Personally, I would prefer for it to be at home in the comfort, and that's how I always wanted it. I mean, just with the COVID, they made everything accessible at home, really, you know what I mean? So there's really no need for you to go anywhere but home.
The pandemic closed movie houses for 18 months, and even after reopening, year-to-date box office totals remain 72% behind 2019. Well, September is Hunger Action. There are people struggling with food insecurity all over the state, especially in Los Angeles.
Doug Kolk shows us how celebrities are doing their part to help those in need.
It's a lot of celebrities.
There's actress Malin Ackerman, director Kevin Smith. John Stamos volunteered with the cast of his Disney series Big Shot. And just last Thanksgiving, Blackish star Anthony Anderson provided 150 families with over 50 pounds of food. These are just small samples of the efforts from Hollywood's elite to make sure no one goes hungry.
I remember, we lived in hotels, we lived in our car for a little bit.
For actress Jenna Malone, hunger hits home.
That was a really big part of our weekly, monthly thing was, going to the food banks. And it was so exciting for me in a weird way, where you go and you get these big boxes of food and you just feel so like someone in the world cares about you.
Doing things like this is just so incredible.
Even at a young age.
To see all the amazing work everyone's doing.
You can call Meg Donnelly a veteran when it comes to volunteering with food banks.
I mean, the last thing someone should be thinking about is where to get food. This one looks pretty good.
When we lent a helping hand together at the Los Angeles Regional Food Bank.
Before the pandemic, they served 300,000 people a month, and after the pandemic, they served 900,000.
I know.
Isn't that insane?
It's absolutely wild.
She had just wrapped shooting the next Disney Zombies flick.
How do you find the time to volunteer?
But I think it's really important. Everything that's happening.
And that's the philosophy with many.
Having already been contributing to Feeding America, we said, let's reach out to them.
John Oates of Hall & Oates spent his time during the pandemic hosting a benefit concert.
Breathe out. The fact that it was such an efficient organization in terms of, how they distributed food and money.
His Oates Fest 7908 featured artists like Foo Fighters' Dave Grohl and provided 450,000 meals for Feeding America.
Above and beyond the actual numbers, I think we created some awareness.
That's the World Camel. Raising awareness is Andrew Zimmern's mission.
Well, I've been involved with Feeding America for about as long as they've been around, and I've been in the food business, which has been quite a long time.
You can find him on one of his many food travel shows, including his latest, What's Eating America, where he explores the politics of food and the impact it has on everyday Americans.
If you want to address hunger, if you want to address food waste, we have to start talking about it. We have to educate everyone, and we have to have national leadership on this issue.
Well, here in the Valley, we're raising money for the Central California Food Bank. If you'd like to help, we have a link to donate on the top of our homepage on our website, yourcentralvalley.com. $1 can feed 7 meals. I mean, it can help so many people. So
yeah, you don't have to be famous. You don't have to be John Oates to help. Just go up there, help the Central Valley
Imagine, you know, $5. It just goes such a long way right here in our community.
It's 35 meals. Coming up on KC24 Midday.
Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade will feature a return of fans and volunteers this year. We'll have more on the Thanksgiving Day Parade after this.
Your health is our focus. That's why we're telling stories that inspire, educate, and promote wellness. Stories straight from our own community. Join us each week for MedWatch Today, Saturday on KC24.
The job market's hot and the time is now. Spherion has temp to hire, and full-time jobs available. Bring us your A game and we'll match you up with an opportunity. Spherion places thousands of people each year in terrific jobs. Let's get to work.
Hello, I am Betty Chu, the first Chinese-American female attorney serving governments in California and a member of the Constitutional Revision Commission. Our Constitution empowers us to remove governor. This is about Gavin Newsom, not political party. Democrats, Republicans, Independents, unite to support Larry Elder for governor.
Recall Newsom. Elect Elder.
I was denied my Social Security disability claim, even though I can't work.
I'm so frustrated dealing with the government, and the last thing I want is some faceless lawyer
on the phone. I want personal attention.
Someone experienced
who knows our local legal system
and will fight for me.
When you can't work, the law offices of Robert Ishikawa will fight to get you Social Security disability benefits. Call 559-477-4487. Social Security disability is all we do.
Do you have chronic joint pain? Don't want surgery? Wanted stem cell treatment, but it's too expensive? Dr. Green has a treatment similar to stem cell treatment that's covered by your insurance. Set up a consultation with Dr. Green, either online or in person, to discuss the treatment and how the insurance covers it. Call 559-234-3070 or online at greensmc.com. Finally, get the pain relief you deserve today.
We really like the fact that Personal Express Insurance is local. We know them all personally.
We've been very happy, very satisfied with the discount rate that they give to us.
I have had insurance companies call me and they tell me they can beat Personal Express Insurance. And when I tell them what I'm paying for the insurance, they tell me we cannot beat that.
With offices in Fresno, Clovis, and Visalia.
The job market's hot and the time is now. Spherion has temp to hire, and full-time jobs available. Bring us your A game and we'll match you up with an opportunity. Spherion places thousands of people each year in terrific jobs. Let's get to work.
KC24 News is brought to you in part by Glass Pro. This is KC24 News Midday.
Macy's is inviting the public to line New York City streets to watch the 95th Thanksgiving Parade. It's back. Marching bands and other live musical performances are returning, joining the floats and balloons, following last year's scaled-back version just for TV.
Full vaccination is required for all performers and volunteers, and you at home can watch the Thanksgiving Day Parade right here on KC24. I'll be here for sure. Then the parade goes. No, I'll be here doing sunrise. Ruben, I don't know if he'll be here or not, but he has the forecast.
Probably, yeah. And it'll be much cooler by then, much cooler. Of course, one more day of triple-digit heat. Don't be surprised if you feel a sprinkle or two tonight. Thunderstorms are possible in the Sierra. We're in the 90s for most of next week.
Also, football tonight, KC24.
Let's go.
Cowboys, Bucks.
Here, someone